Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 main red flags every founder should definitely not ignore in a potential co-founder. And stick around because at the end I'm going to be showing you a way to protect yourself if you're looking to start a business with someone that every founder should know. Hello, my name is Monta and I'm the founder of OnlyFounders, an app that helps people find co-founders in a matchmaking way. In the past years I've been connecting with a lot of founders. And these are the main 3 issues and main 3 red flags that you should never ignore. The first one, and it's actually one of the most important one, is inconsistency. Now at this stage it feels a little bit vague, but stick around because there's key clues you'll be able to identify to see if that person is inconsistent or not. Now at the early stage of a startup, it may be really unstructured. You may have university on the side, you may have work on the side. The concept of an early stage startup is that it doesn't have a clear plan or a clear path, and all of these things has to be set up from the start with the co-founders together. But this is not what we're talking about. This is not the aspect that we're talking about that is a big red flag. The one thing that you should be able to see as a startup founder with the co-founder that you're looking to build a partnership with is if that person is definitely putting a lot of deadlines and disrespecting it. And this is not about a one-time thing. If that person does it 3, 4, 5 times in 1 month or 2 months, that's probably telling a lot about that person. People who constantly miss meetings, come late multiple times. The concept is if you put a deadline for yourself and say that you're going to do something and end up not doing it. That's the thing that you should be looking for. If you see this, keep my words in mind, because the main thing you're looking for in a co-founder is reliability and trust. And if you cannot trust that person, that will definitely drain you a lot, and you cannot rely on that person when you need them. I would rather work with someone who is less skilled but is always showing up on time, says what he's promising to do, rather than working with a more skilled person but I never know if he's gonna show up or not. And this would drain and kill your credibility, specifically sometimes in front of investors or during events. Trust me, I've seen this happen multiple times. Now the second character is one that you cannot identify directly. And this is why at the early stage of a startup and when you're looking for a co-founder, you should have a hunting cap of red flags. You should be here looking for what are the clues that I could definitely not work with and definitely are non-negotiables for me. And this second person, we call them the wannabe entrepreneur, the wantrepreneur. They like the idea of the startup. Their ego loves being part of a startup. They like that idea of making money fast. Usually these people love day trading, e-commerce, drop shipping. But at the end of the day, they do not like the hustle. They may not like working hard every day or spending 2 or 3 years before growing. Remember, in the first 4 years of Mr. Beast's YouTube channel, he only got 1,000 followers. In the first 7 years, he got 1 million followers. In 1 month of January 2025, he got 2.2 million followers. It's not about making money fast. It's about showing up every day and growing up and keep putting the small steps, and then it would grow. Without further ado, be really on the lookout of these people and be really aware of them because they exist a lot, and usually they will end up leaving you in the middle of your relationship. So if already started working, things started to get hard and now they do not like it anymore. They discover that the startup life is maybe not made for them. They'd like to do something different, and that's absolutely fair. But now you're by yourself as a solo founder in the middle of everything, and you have higher chances of completely giving up. And the last one, and probably one of the ones that is less detectable, is someone with a chronic inability of handling stress, conflicts, and accountability. Now, this is really important because in the beginning of the days of the startup, everything would seem okay. But it is a startup at the end of the day, and you are going to face issues. A startup is really stressful. There's a lot of things that would go wrong, and a good entrepreneur is an entrepreneur that is a good problem solver. And being able to manage stress and conflicts well is a key determinant of a startup. Here's one extra thing in this area. Someone that would set up a bad mood would set up a bad mood for the whole startup and would ultimately damage the startup culture for your whole team. All of these bad examples that we've also previously set a bad example for all the team as well. If someone is completely not showing up on time or not coming on time or doing tasks really late, they set up a bad example for the whole team, and it would create a really bad environment. So be really keen on never ignoring these problems. Now, if you want to know more about how to do the right due diligence, and if you want a more complete video, I'll put a video here or here maybe about a whole keynote that I did about how to do the right due diligence to find the right co-founders. And now moving on to the part that you've all been waiting for, how to protect yourself. There's actually a really simple method that all founders should be aware of and incorporate when getting to connect with a co-founder, because at the end of the day, your co-founder is like a mirror. Some people say that you'll be able to see them more than your husband or your wife. Imagine the scenario: you and me decide to work together as co-founders. I may be the developer and you're gonna be the business-sided person. We establish this collaboration and we say that it is fair that I take 45% of equity and you take 55% of equity, and everything is going pretty great. But after 1 year, I get a really things go really hard, and I get a really good job offering that would pay me really well. And at the end of the day, I got really tired of this startup ecosystem and I leave the startup. And 1 year after that, you raise $500 million, which makes me a millionaire. I still have 45% equity of the startup, but you're working your ass off the startup for the next years and I'm not. This is completely something that frustrates people, frustrates founders, that one of the team members would end up leaving with all of the equity. And there is a simple solution that all founders should know, which is called vesting. Here's what vesting means and how it helps you protect your startups. Vesting is so important that investors usually want every member of the startup having that. So how does it work? When you first set our partnership, we said that I'm going to take 45% and you're going to take 55%. But we say that this would go on a 4 years vesting schedule, which means that after 4 years, I will have my 45% and you will have your 55%. And with 1 year cliff, what does 1 year cliff means? It means that in the first year, none of us is gonna get any equity. After 1 year, I may get 15%, you may get 20% of your total equity. And then every year, I will get a little bit of a bunch of the equity that I get. All of this making sure that I stick around and commit to at least, let's say, 4 years, and also based on specific milestones of the company. The vesting schedule is really important for startup founders because it helps them make sure that these people would stick around and put the effort that they promised to do. You can put it, again, the industry standard is 4 years with 1 year cliff, but you could also put some milestones and some key KPIs in it, or put it for more years or less years. I hope this video helped you and helped you learn more about how to do the right due diligence and finding the right co-founders. If you want to learn more about the startup ecosystem and follow my journey with OnlyFounders app, let me know in the comments and subscribe for more. If you're looking for a like-minded business partner, download OnlyFounders app, and I see you in the next one. Thank you all. This was Monta, and see you in the next time, I guess, third time. Bye bye.